Welcome to the Optimistic Views podcast, and I am your host, Lawrence Amsterdam.
I followed the whole vibe, the whole story, and it's kind of real because a lot of the stuff that you mentioned I can resonate with, you know what I mean?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 6 of the Optimistic Views podcast. This episode is basically an update episode just because I haven't been around for quite some time. I haven't released any new episodes since back in April, so I'm definitely looking forward to dropping stuff for you guys. But the most important thing is to give you guys an update of what's been going on since the last episode. And I'm actually looking at my phone right now, and it's actually since February. So yeah, a lot has been going on. So today I want to get into a few things. As I said, this is an update episode. It's not going to be your general episode that I usually release. It's just an update to let you guys know what's been going on from the last episode up until today. So I'm going to just get right into it. So the last episode I released was back in February. So that means I've been off for just about 5 months. And that's a long time. But a lot has been going on, and I think it's really important to shed light on what's been going on. So first of all, I want to mention my past semester. I took some time off from a lot of stuff to finish up the semester and try to focus in as much as I can. And I am saying I'm quite happy with the results. I'm not 100% satisfied because I personally felt like I could have done better. But those are just things that happens, and you have to be able to accept that and be willing to move on, accept the results as long as you put in the work you thought was necessary. And I definitely believe that I did. I could have done better in a few instances, but at the end of the day, I got some really good grades. So I'm happy with that, but I really took the time off to focus on the rest of the semester because I'm trying to keep a certain GPA. It's not where I want it to be right now, but definitely the upcoming semester, which is going to be fall, I'm definitely going to try and work on that. But yeah, I took some time off even from shadowing. So as you may know, if I haven't mentioned before, I'm not sure if I have, but excuse me, let me do. So most of you guys know I'm trying to get into dental school, and I actually went to a conference in March, back in March. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have seen some of the photos and some of the Instagram stories of that day. I tried to document the entire thing, but I went to an American Dental Education Association conference in Orlando, Florida, I think on the 17th of March at the Gaylord Palms Resort and Convention Center. And it was a really good experience. Over 50 representatives from 50 dental schools across the country. And it's basically like a recruitment event. And what they were trying to do is just give you as much information as you needed and try to answer as much questions as possible in order to prepare you for the entire process, which is applying. First of all, you got to study, take the DATs, then you apply, and then you do your interviews and everything else along that line. So it was a great experience. I got to meet some of the people, some of the directors of admissions and some current students, some other members of faculty. Excuse me a second as I drink some water. Students, members of faculty, and I really developed some good partnerships with some people, exchanged contact information, and I really feel good. So shout out to some of the guys at University of Colorado. You guys know who you are. I'm talking about Kyle. I'm talking about Kimberly. Shout out to Detroit Mercy Medical. They really helped me quite a bit with some of the questions I had. And also, my memory is not all that well right now to remember everybody from that day. But if I'm not mistaken, from Detroit Mercy Medical, they also had a pathway program that they basically put you in that program and streamline you and teach you and basically mold you and get you ready for dental school. So shout out to them. I want to say shout out to University of Michigan and the president, the director of admissions, I should say. I had a good conversation with her. I should have actually had their cards right here so I could have put names to these people. But anyhow, the experience was great. I had a blast. It was definitely a good experience. I learned quite a bit, and one of the things I learned is that most dental schools are not going to accept you or not even going to look at your application. And this was from the director of admissions from the University of Michigan. She said that we're not even going to look at your application if you do not have a total of 100 hours of shadowing on your resume. So at that time, I was currently shadowing Dr. Shepard on Windy Hill Road, there at Brighten Your Smile Dentistry. And, I just asked her some questions, and I, just asked her, like, how am I doing? Am I doing the right things? And she's like, yeah, you're definitely on the right path. Keep on doing that. So once I got back, I resumed shadowing. I resumed school and everything, and I just continued to do everything that I had to do. And shadowing Dr. Shepard was really good. It's still really good because I'm still there. I'll be back in office this week, well, based on when the episode drops, but most likely this week, first week of July. And it was a really good experience down there. Came back, I continued shadowing, but then I took some time off from shadowing because I wanted to put more time into school. I had a lot of papers due. I had a lot of research stuff to do. I had to go and observe a court procedure and all these different things. So it was quite an experience, I would say, and I had to take that time off. And I'm so happy I did because it really helped me to focus on the semester and finish up very, very strong. And yeah, after the semester was over, I was like, okay, I'm going to take some time off. I'm going to relax a little bit. And then I just resumed shadowing. Just trying to accumulate my hours. And I only did it like 2 days a week, which was Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I couldn't do a lot. And then we wouldn't be at the office, or I wasn't at the office for more than like 5 or 6 hours a day. So trying to rack up 100 hours and just doing 5 or 6 hours a day, and then I'm not there consistently because I had all these different things to do. It was kind of difficult in the beginning. But after that, coming up to May, my grandmother back in Guyana, so I should say that she passed away on May 25th. She was dealing with some complications for quite some time, and the family was kind of bracing for it, so we kind of knew she wasn't really feeling well. And, she was 85 years old, so at that time, I mean, a lot of things were deteriorating, and, memory and stuff like that, and suffering from dementia and these things. So it was definitely painful. And, I got the call when I saw the international number, because I knew she wasn't feeling well. I got the call a week prior to when she passed away. I got a call saying that she's not feeling well, and, things are not looking as good, and she's not getting better. And then when she did pass away that day, I got the call and I saw the international number. I just knew that was it. Even though we were all bracing for it, the entire family, it still hit pretty hard. And it was one of those things where it's like you can't really do much about it because it's like that's God's work, but it still hit pretty hard. So in that moment, I decided to call my dad. And I spoke to him, and as you guys know, I'm from Guyana, and I've never been back to Guyana prior to that moment. So I called my dad, and I spoke to him, and I discussed, the option of me coming back for the funeral and just to honor my grandmother and the legacy, and also, just to be in the presence of all the other family members that were going to be there. So I went back to Guyana the first week of June, and I didn't get back until like the third week of June. So basically, like almost the entirety of June, I was in Guyana, like with the exception of like a week and a half or so. And yeah, the first week in Guyana, it was like very overwhelming because like I haven't been back in 6 years, and then you're going back, but not on the best of circumstances. So like a lot of people were happy to see me because they haven't seen me in so long. But at the end of the day, it was like it wasn't under the best circumstances, so it was kind of tough. And also, when I went back to Guyana, I wasn't really out and about that much. Like the first week I was more, I passed around my old neighborhood, but I didn't stay there. I stayed with my pops and my grandmother at the house there, and it was a good experience, but it was still kind of like sad. But first week we all dealt with a bunch of funeral stuff. The good side, on the flip side, I would say that I got the opportunity to spend time with my younger brother. my older sister, and also my older brother. So both of my brothers, I spent some time with them, and I met my older brother for the first time. So that was actually a surreal moment for me, because growing up, I was wanted an older brother, and then to find out that I actually have one. Well, I knew I had one, but I just never met him. So to meet him in person, that was a really cool experience, and just hanging out with them, especially my younger brother, because when I left, he was 12. And when I went back, he's 18 right now, but he's taller than me. So that was kind of like a shock to me. Like when he jumped out of the car at the airport when they came to pick me up, I'm like, whoa, this guy is tall as hell. But you know, I'm 6'4", and my brother is about 6'5". 6'5", and if you count his curly hair, because they all do that little curly hair thing on the top of their heads, he's probably about 6'6". But he's pretty tall, and mostly everybody in my family is tall. My sister's tall. My sister's 6 feet. I'm 6'4". My brother's 6'6". So yeah, most of the people are tall in my family. My cousin's 6'2", so everybody's tall. But the opportunity to spend time with them, as I said, on the flip side, was very, very good. I took every day that I had there, and I tried to spend it with my family. I met a lot of my cousins for the first time, even when we were flying to Guyana. So we flew out from Atlanta, and we flew from Atlanta to Miami, and then we had another connecting flight from Miami to Guyana. But on our flight, all of us, we traveled together. And when I say us, I'm speaking of my family I have here in Georgia. So it was my uncle, my auntie, my 2 cousins, which is Cher and Lily, myself, and then my other cousin is Sean, who I met for the first time at the airport. So it was like 6 of us traveling together. And then we also met up with like another family member, I think, when we got to Miami. I'm not sure he's family, but he's more so like a family friend. But hey, at the end of the day, everybody's family. So it was like 7 of us all together traveling to Guyana. And it was a really good experience. I remember some of the conversations we had, because the family friend that we met up with, he's actually a doctor, and we had some really good conversations. My cousin Cher, she works in the emergency unit. I think it's the ICU. She's a nurse. And then my cousin Lily, she works at the CDC in downtown Atlanta. So it's like a bunch of educated people sitting down, we're having these conversations, and then I really learned a lot, even though I felt like a little bit overwhelmed, because I'm like, oh man, I'm just trying to listen to the things they're saying. But I definitely learned quite a bit, and it was a good experience. And traveling to Guyana with all those family members, and then getting to Guyana and meeting all the other family members. I'm talking like my dad, my stepmom, I shouldn't even say stepmom, but my mom, because she treats me like I'm her own. Like, she takes care of me. Even as grown as I am, she always looks out for me. So, Ma, I love you. Yeah, just everybody in general. My aunties, all my cousins, all my uncles that I've met. I'm talking about Rolania. I'm talking about JJ. JJ, you know you're my favorite. I'm talking about everybody who I went out to lunch with, everybody who I got to spend time with, everybody who I got to meet for the first time. It was definitely a great experience meeting you guys. And, you know, my cousin Ray actually is a dentist in Guyana, and meeting her was really a good thing for me, because now I have an older cousin who's been through the same process that I'm trying to get through, but in a different country. And also, you know, we connected on a different level because of the interest that we have in this particular thing called dentistry. So that was really, really good, being able to connect with her. I should actually call her Dr. Amsterdam, because that's her name. That's going to be my name soon too. So all in God's plan. But yeah, the trip was definitely a good trip. After the funeral, the week after the funeral, I finally decided to go out a little bit more and spend more time with family, because I'm like, all right, I'm not going to be here for quite some time again, so I might as well take the time that I'm here and try to use it to go out and spend more time with family. Met up with some old friends. I'm not going to call everybody's name, so I want to say shout out to all my friends back home in Guyana. The ones that I didn't get to hang out with, definitely there's going to be a next time. That's not my first and last time coming back. I'm definitely going to come back another time. I can't say when, because I have a lot of stuff to do. But shout out to all my friends that I got to see. Shout out to all my friends that I got to talk to over the phone. And shout out to just everybody that is back there in Guyana. And I know it's not the best circumstance with how things are happening right now, but you guys just stay working, stay motivated, and just try to persevere as much as you can. I know I talked to some people in